Hopefully I can make this into a quick video today. We're going to be trying to do the power steering line. That's the only thing stopping me from driving this truck. I had some trouble trying to source a power steering line locally. This is the stock one. I was wanting to retain this idle up fitting. It has a sensor on it, so when it senses a loss in pressure, it would bump the idle up. But I cut it apart and tried to see if I could do it myself, but the type of fitting here didn't work out. You can see I had cut it apart, but irrelevant. Wasn't going to work. Not going to be able to use that line. So I finally just bit the bullet and bought the trail gear kit. Like I said before, a lot of trail gear stuff. I kind of wanted this to be a custom made one with that fitting. Until I can find somebody that can make me one, I guess this is going to have to do. So I'll be working on getting this installed. In the kit is this pre-made power steering line. It is for the 3.4 liter. This bit of hose, 2 nice hose clamps, and 2 fittings. I'm pretty certain, one of them obviously is going into the power steering box, and the other one is obviously going into the power steering pump. So which one goes on which, I don't know. They look identical, other than one of them has a little bit bigger hex on it. And that's the only difference I can tell. So, I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to run it. I think I'll start on the box side, pull each of these plugs. This is the one for the pressure, this is the one for the return. So I'll pull these little caps out, thread the adapter into this, and run the line and see which way it fits the best, and try to get it routed. Alright, I've got the adapter installed in the power steering box. I'm going to put the 90-degree end into this one. That way it immediately is headed towards the power steering pump. Alright, I don't know how easy this is going to be to see. Obviously that's the front of the truck. Here's that power steering line coming down. I find that I'm liking this routing path. It's really hard to show. Coming across here, I'll probably like zip tie these two together in a couple spots like that. And then this end, if it shows well, gets right up there to the fitting like it needs to. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and tidy that up, get it zip tied in a few spots. I'll show you the end product. Alright, got it routed I think well enough for the pressure line coming from the box up there. Let's ignore this for now. It's a little kinked. I think I'm going to go look into getting a 2.7 liter one of these. I think the 2.7 has a shorter radiator hose. Anyhow, the power steering line goes from up there, kind of pushes up against the box kind of lightly, the shroud, down, crosses over. It's not rubbing the metal in any funny way. Got a zip tie kind of holding that joint. 1, 2, 3. Kind of comes up through here. Got it zip tied to this other trans line. This one's free floating, but it's not going to get into anything. It's out of the way. Then the line goes up. You can see up there where it is connected to the bottom of the power steering box. Right there. So now I'm going to look into the low pressure side, the return line. The point I need to make on the return line is that they didn't provide me with a fitting to go into the actual steering box, but on the stock line I have this fitting. You can see it's low pressure because it's just a basic style clamp. So I think I'm going to unclamp this, clean this fitting up, and try to put it on there, and just use the new hose and their clamps to get me from one end to the other. There is that hose nipple with the inverted flare threaded in, snug, feels nice. Now I've got this power steering rated hose, I guess. That's what they send in the kit. Honestly, it's like a 3/8 hose, 10 millimeter. Yeah, there you go. Kind of see it. Low pressure, 350 psi. So I will slip a hose clamp on it, in an orientation that's easy to get to, preferably, and slip it down on there. So that's what I'm going to work on. As per usual, I'm running out of daylight. It's like my favorite thing to do is work with a headlight on and not be able to see what I'm doing. Anyhow, return line, it's on there. I could probably use another zip tie right here, but they're firm in place. They're not going anywhere. Underneath the truck, I got them zip tied pretty heavily. I hate being the zip tie everything guy, but the truth is I really thought that these were going to be able to like come down on the outside of the radiator, run along the bottom of this, and then run back up. So then I could put a bunch of P-clips on the bottom of this plate between it and the radiator, but I couldn't get the lines custom made, at least not in a quick amount of time, so it is what it is. This will be fine. It is not in anything. It's actually quite sturdy. Once you start zip tying all of them together, they're pretty stout. So I'm feeling good about it. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw some fluid in it and try to bleed it. Excuse the guy mowing across the street. Man, I'm really close. Let's get some fluid in this thing. This is what I'm using for the power steering fluid. You're not actually supposed to use power steering fluid. It's supposed to be ATF. It's supposed to be the equivalent of Dexron 3. So ignore the fact it says for General Motors. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in. I've got some in this one and about a full one here. So should be plenty to get this thing filled up and get some fluid in it. It's been a little while since I filmed the power steering line install. Got it on there, drove it to work, got to test it out. Has a little bit of a leak, something to be fixed. But anyhow, I'm going to try to make this just a quick conclusion to the solid axle swap. In my mind, the solid axle swap only encompasses getting rid of the IFS and getting the solid axle onto the front. So for this series, I'm going to call it done. It is drivable. It does what it's supposed to do at the moment. I still need a front drive shaft. I've got a power steering leak to fix. I've got a lower radiator hose that needs to be worked on. I'm having a problem with the bushing spacing. Leaf springs are sliding back and forth with my steering, so it feels like it's real loose. I've got some parts, like the little plug caps are getting kind of rusty. I want to clean those up. Probably need to make some adjustments to steering stabilizer. It keeps rotating forward, so that's easy enough to address. Blinkers need to be repaired. I still need the front bumper. So there's definitely stuff to be fixed and continued to be worked on the truck. I think I already mentioned needs a front drive shaft, but that is probably going to get sourced out to somebody. I'm sure I'm going to need a long slip once I figure out how much travel I have. But anyhow, yeah, it's going to conclude the solid axle swap on the truck, but there's still plenty to be done. As I, grazed over earlier, this thing got lifted improperly in the rear. It was temporary to get it on the road. 3-inch lift blocks, some extended length shocks came off a half-ton Dodge. Just a quick brake line proportioning valve rod just to kind of set that up higher. But I've still got plenty to do on this truck. I will be doing a video lifting the rear. I'm going to do Chevy 63s in the rear. Hopefully try to get rid of the blocks in the rear if possible. I don't know if I'll have any. Maybe just a slight one to get the level right. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to make any claims on that just yet. I've got shocks to put in the rear. I may try to switch to a one-piece drive shaft. Not sure about that yet. I still need to get the front bumper on the truck and modified. I'm going to need to do some rear bumper work. I've got some LED lighting issues that need to be fixed and rewired. I want to do proper amount of switches and proper fuse blocks on the truck. Blinker's bad there, or reverse light, excuse me. So I've got some stuff to do. Also, I'm having a problem with brake dive in the front, just one drive, and I'm having some pretty serious front end brake dive. So I'll be doing some work with the brake lines, probably doing some ABS removal in the front, rerouting some lines, putting a manual proportioning valve in the front, getting rid of the load sensing one in the rear. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. So there's plenty to be done, and I intend to make plenty more videos about this truck, including some wheeling videos. I don't want to disappoint anybody, but this will get used off-road. This is not going to be a street rig. Thing's already got enough scratches and little dents and dings everywhere to begin with. Plus nature's pinstripes all down the side, so I'm sure I'll be getting some more of those in the future. This is going to be a workhorse and an off-road rig. I'm not easy on my trucks, and I don't intend to be. I'm not intentionally going to just bash it into things, but it is not going to be treated near and dear. Anyhow, I think that's going to be enough of me rambling. Hopefully those of you who did watch the video series enjoy it and got something out of it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I would be happy to answer them or make additional videos to cover problems. So, thanks for watching.